Bringing in our next guest, it is story time with KSHSAA Covered as we get to talk with one of the sports writers for KSHSAA Covered, and Rickie Peterson joining us here today. Rickie, I mean, for you, like out in more western Kansas, like what was the selection process for you as you're going through all the midseason tournaments throughout the state?
Yeah, you want to get to some good wrestling ones. You want to get to some good basketball ones. On Friday, I ended up going to the Mid-Continent League wrestling tournament in Waukene. That's always a fun one because you know you're going to see a ton of state championships on both the girls and boys side, and the fact that they ran both the boys and girls together. I think that's really exciting to see. Starting with the boys. Obviously Hoxie's powerhouse is still going strong. They're 5-time reigning state champs, and they really had a good showing in the league tournament. Their leader this year is Ian Giancola. He's a guy that's, he's been great ever since he was a freshman, won state championships as a freshman and sophomore. This year, he's kind of the elder statesman on that Hoxie team. They have a really good lineup again, and Ian's been undefeated throughout the year. He's coming back from a state championship loss last year to Roman Tuttle from southeast of Saline. So I think he kind of sets the tone for that team, and had a really good showing. A couple other highlights that stuck out in that Mid-Continent League boys side. Xander Donner and Zephyrin Donner from Russell, they have both had outstanding years. I think they only have one loss between them. Xander Donner at 106 won a really tight match with Porter Meyer from Hoxie, and then Zephyrin won the 132 pound title, and he's a returning state champ. So those boys have been really fun to watch for Russell. Blake Baresh, man, he is so fun to watch from Phillipsburg, returning state champ. One thing about Blake is, man, he just overwhelms you for the entirety of the match. He's not a guy that looks for the quick pin necessarily. He's one that just wants to, put pressure on you the entire way, get multiple takedowns, and he's had a really, really strong year for Phillipsburg and looks like a strong favorite for that 157 title. And then another undefeated guy is Carson Montgomery from Smith Center, 38-0. He's a 2-time state runner-up. Last year lost a really tight match to Brody Chambers in the final, and he's looking like he'll be in the mix again for in that heavyweight conversation. Then on the girls' side, Josie Bell from Hoxie. The Bell family is they're definitely one of the top wrestling families of all time, considering that all 4 siblings now have state championship. Her 3 older brothers had state championships, and last year Josie joined them. This year she's been in a really tough 120-pound class, and she was able to avenge one of her 2 losses on the season against Ariana Weigel from Russell. So she ended up taking that 120, and she was named most outstanding wrestler on the girls' side. Now, she mentioned Ian Giancola was the outstanding wrestler on the boys' side, so they swept that. And then Oakley was able to get the team title. Heading into that tournament, you have the top 3 teams, top-ranked teams in 3-2-1A, and Russell, Oakley, and Norton. I think Oakley maybe was kind of flying under the radar. And talking to Coach Levi Youngkin after the tournament, they had been good, but he was still kind of waiting for them to really break through and show what they're capable of. And they were able to do that in that MCL tournament that had 2 individual champions, and they just have a really strong lineup. Kylie Hodges has had a tremendous career. She's only a junior. And Brooke Smith, a really good, solid wrestler for them as well. So they just have a good lineup all the way through, and I know they were really excited to get that MCL title. But like I said, that one's just always a fun tournament to go out to because you see so many state champions and so many great rivalries in the MCL as well.
You mentioned Blake Burrish from Phillipsburg. I mean, he just seems like an intense guy. Like, I mean, like you talk about like all dialed in and just completely focused, and what makes him so good too.
Yeah, just his conditioning and the fact that, like I said, that you could tell he really loves to wrestle. He's a guy, like I said, that doesn't really necessarily look to get out of there as fast as he can. I think he would just assume have a technical fall, which he has plenty of this year. So he's a really fun guy to watch, and I was glad to see he got his college deal squared away. He's going to Iowa Western, so I think he'll be a really good wrestler for them.
Really good program. All right, so then you switched things up a little bit and saw some basketball after all that wrestling.
Yeah, made it down to the SPIAA League tournament in Dodge City, which is always, I know Brent talked about some of his favorite tournaments when he was on with you a few days ago. Man, I love that SPIAA League tournament in Dodge City. To me, I mean, that it just has the feel of a state tournament, and it's just such a great atmosphere. If you ever get a chance to go down there and Dodge that tournament, I would highly recommend it. And what made this year cool is you had some teams that hadn't won for a long time. On the girls' side, Ashland breaks a 20-year drought of winning that tournament. First time they've won the tournament since 2006, and man, they're going to be good for a long time. I can tell you that. They brought in a great freshman class this year to go along with some really solid returners up from last year's team. But Jayla Walker, Cashley Grisby, Jocelyn Hazen. I mean, they have just kind of taken that team to another level, and for them to win that tournament, to me, makes a statement because that, like I said, that tournament is a really good test to see if you're ready for the moment, because that's a big time atmosphere.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to beat South Central in the title game shows me that they're definitely a team that could make some noise. And then a good way to cap the tournament as well. South Central, who's had such a great year again after taking runner up last year, they're in control for most of the way against Spearville. And Spearville, they were struggling. They couldn't hit a shot. They were just kind of hanging around. And then they got it to within 3 in the closing seconds. And their star senior Ian Belendez hits a huge 3-pointer to send it into overtime. And then they control the overtime period. And they won their first SPIAA League title in 10 years. So yeah, that was a good testament to them, just to kind of find a way to stay in it and make something happen at the end. And obviously some really clutch performance there from Ian Melendez.
I like that wireless arena. I know it's been a few years now since that thing has opened up. I remember when it first opened up and everyone was really, really excited. And I still think it's like a really good setting, especially out for Western Kansas, where, it's set up well for media. It's set up well for, obviously hosting big events. And then, like you said, it kind of has that big stage too. I'm just kind of a big fan of the wireless arena out in Dodge City.
I love that arena. I mean, there's just something about that arena that makes it really good for basketball. And going to, usually I think 1AD1 is usually there at Dodge for state. That's always a great atmosphere. And like I said, just that SPIAA League tournament, it just feels like a state championship atmosphere. And I know Dodge is going to be a real fun setting this year for state basketball as well.
Hey, Rickie, appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your week, man.
All right. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it.
As Rickie Peterson with KSHSAA Covered, one of the staff writers, and that'll do it for Storytime.